It's our 200th episode of the Elizabeth Manor Diaries, and what a journey it has been. We bought the manor in 2019 in July, and since then we have been renovating it to bring it back to its former glory, and it has been quite the journey with so many highs and lows. But today we thought that we would share some of our favorite moments. We would take you on a little tour of how the manor looks today and share some of our favorite moments over the last 4.5 years. And we also are going to celebrate in style. We have a very special giveaway, so make sure you stay to the end of the video to find out what you can win and how you can win it. And don't forget, if you're enjoying our videos, make sure you hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, the Ladysmith Manor Diaries, to ensure you see all our videos when we first put them out. But first, let me show you what we've been up to this week and take you on a little tour down memory lane. It's been almost 4.5 years since we first went through this door at the manor, and so we thought we would take you back in, give you a little tour of how it looks today, and share some of our favorite memories of the restoration we've been working on for what seems like a really long time. So let's go inside. So the entrance hall looks so different to when we first walked in here. It's now got our beautiful grandfather clock and our amazing mural. Remember when this wall was completely bare?
You remember we painted it and then all the paint didn't stick?
Every job we've done in here has been a bit of an adventure, because we start one project and then we find that we create another job for ourselves. But the mural is just the perfect way to enter here and to be welcomed into the manor. And Phil the pheasant came with us all the way, came in the car with me all the way across Canada.
Yeah, because it was too far to fly.
So his new home is now on the top. You even get to hear the grandfather clock. Oh, it's only 1/4 so you don't get the chimes. But we then have, this was one of the first pieces we picked up, right? The
yes.
Semicircle, we got this at the auction. Yeah. And our stairs that we're still working on a little bit. There's still lots for us to do, but boy has it changed. So let's go through into the reception room. So the sun is beautiful today, but this room is lovely and warm. And it wasn't until I started looking back at all our videos I realized how much work we'd done in here. Like, it is so different from the ceilings that we painted, to the chandeliers, to the curtains. It feels warm and cozy in here now with the rug. And then obviously our other mural, which was the very first mural that we had painted, and was the inspiration for the one in the hallway as well. But it just really gives it a statement piece in here. And I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite rooms, with the gramophone, and then moving into our music room. And when we first moved in, this fireplace did not exist. See, the piano was there. Stephen can't play it, unfortunately. But you remember the day when we discovered that there was a chimney behind here?
Yes.
We knocked through the plaster and discovered that we could actually put a wood-burning stove in there. So we ended up getting the wood-burning stove in and putting this beautiful sandstone behind. If you've been watching us, following us for a while, you'll know that this sandstone actually came from the Mount A Veterans Library in Sackville when they tore it down. Phil, who put in our wood stove, had permission to salvage the sandstone. And so when he put in our wood stove, he actually used the sandstone from that old library on the back, which I just love the story and the history. And boy, does this room look different. It's one of our favorite rooms. If you come to afternoon teas, you'll enjoy, some people enjoy their afternoon tea in here. It's one of the rooms we use. And like Stephen said, this square grand piano is definitely kind of pride of place in here. Let's go into the dining room now. Now this room is definitely completely different. This definitely did not look like this when we moved in. And do you remember the toilet that we had in here, honey?
I sure do.
So down here in this corner, when we first moved in, it was actually a toilet. It was a little room with a toilet, and the door was where Stephen is standing now. And the toilet was over in the corner. Sink was there. And we decided that a toilet in the dining room wasn't the best look or idea. So we took it out, and it's really opened up that end. But just having the paneling, this fireplace, lots of people don't even realize that the fireplace wasn't there either. We actually picked that up and we painted it up and then added the tile. But it almost feels as if this paneling has been here for years. And yet it's all been put on in the last couple of years by us, and really has given this room that very traditional dining room feel, which is what we wanted. And we use this for all sorts of different things, including obviously our long table dinners, but it definitely feels like a wonderful dining room with our chandeliers that we often get people commenting on, but they're a little bit different to most of the other chandeliers we have in the house, but I think they're probably one of my favorites. So our next room is our green room. And it definitely wasn't very green when we moved in. In fact, this room over the time, if you've been following us, has been used for, well, as a storage room for a while. It looked pretty bad for a long time. It was one of the later rooms that we worked on. And again, this fireplace we added, but one of my favorite parts of this room has to be the wallpaper. We get lots of people commenting on the wallpaper, and it looks so great with the gold trims, the chandeliers, and it's kind of like the perfect wallpaper for this kind of room. But it's now starting to really look like a lovely space. We're going to be using this for the pub, so when you come in, you can come and sit and enjoy a drink in one of our couches and hang out with your friends. We're still, you can see, working on some of the kitchen at the back there.
Yeah, I'm working hard.
But we're putting in a collection of tables and chairs, couches, areas where you can sit and really just chill out and hang out with friends. We've even got our theatre seats over here, which are just always a fun way to sit and enjoy a drink. But this room has really transformed. So as we come through the green room, we're now going to head into the pub, which has to be, I think, my favorite room that we've transformed. It's been the biggest transformation. Oh, look who's sitting in the chair here. And this space looked completely different when we moved in. And it's now this kind of warm, cozy, inviting space, really quirky. It's got lots of things to look at and all the different treasures that we've been collecting. And obviously it's a great place to have a drink as well when we open. But I also love the fact that in here we've used so many recycled things. So the wainscoting on our bar came from one of the rooms upstairs that we refurbished. The wood on the top of our bar here came from the big oak tree that we took down outside that we had milled, planed, and we refinished. We've got our shelves at the back there that are old stair treads that we took from one of the staircases we took out of the manor. And all of these areas, including all the paneling we've created, even down to these benches, which we actually picked up from a church over in Riverview, but it turns out they were actually made at the penitentiary here in Dorchester many years ago. So we've kind of almost brought them home, which is really fun. And obviously the star of the show in our pub is Hendrix. We've got his portrait up here, and we're still waiting. We're going to be building a fireplace mantle here around our beautiful surround that will be coming. But he's definitely the star of the show in this room.
I thought I was the star of the show.
No, you're not. You're not a whippet and you're not thirsty, so you're not the star. So it's been 4.5 years since we moved in. So we've just been round and seen what the manor looks like today. So do you have a favourite transformation on the ground floor that we've just looked at, like of all the things we've done?
Favourite, most memorable?
Well, let's do favourite first, then we'll do most memorable, because
Okay,
they might be different, right?
Okay. Favourite would be definitely the pub.
Right?
Yeah.
I think, and I would agree with that. I think that's my favourite too. Because we've seen the biggest change in that room.
And the pub has probably been the most difficult.
Yeah, most challenging.
Most challenging, yeah.
And it's also had probably the most work.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of a very general question,
Yeah,
because we've done a lot of work to a lot of rooms. But I think, like you said the other day, the pub didn't have a floor.
No.
It's the only room that we actually had to redo the floor. And it looks completely different. We actually reconfigured a few things in there and added all the paneling, and it doesn't look anything like the space it was.
No, I don't think any, other than the music room.
Yeah, because this room is so much nicer, but it's still
the same
kind of the same room.
Yeah.
It feels different, but
we
it's
just
enhanced it.
We enhanced it.
Whereas the pub is transformed
Transformed.
night and day.
Well, like I said, there was no floor.
Yeah. It was really cold.
Very cold.
Oh my gosh, remember we didn't even go down there for the first year probably.
Well, we didn't even have any electricity down there, or heat.
So what would you say is the most memorable part of, or either memorable transformation or memorable part of the last 4 years of us renovating?
I would say probably when we put heat into the green room. Because then we had heat and electricity in every room.
Yeah, that's true. Because when we moved in, we didn't have heat and electricity in 2/3 of the house.
Yeah, when we moved in, we only had electricity in the kitchen, music room, and the bedrooms upstairs. That's it.
Yeah. So I remember, it was a big day, wasn't it, when we got really excited that we actually had power in every room.
In the wintertime, we'd have to go down there with flashlights and a heavy jacket.
It's funny, isn't it? It's like...
You could see your breath.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of that in this house where we could be in rooms and be able to see your breath.
Yesterday.
So we still have that in this house.
But that's by choice.
Yes.
We just have the
we don't heat every room all the time. And then what would you say is your favourite then? Of all the things we've done, what's your favourite transformation or change or challenge or...
Well, it's probably definitely the pub.
Yeah.
It has the most character, and it'll also be a big part of the business.
Right.
And we've put a lot of us into it.
Yes.
Like the pub is us.
It's got a character to it,
has
right?
lots of character.
We've kind of almost created, it's got its own character and its own individual personality almost.
Right, like
which
us.
makes it like us, yeah. But I think for me, one of the big memorable moments for me was when we had the murals done as well. Because that was something I'd always dreamed of when we moved in, was to have some amazing mural on the walls. So when they were painted...
Yeah, Peggy and Jackie did a great job.
Yeah, they really did. And they've really brought that character and that part of the manor to life.
But you remember when they first started and I came home the first day from work? I'm like, it's going to be better than that, right? Because it was just like an outline. It was just...
Yeah, like Stephen was very worried that it was going to look a little dull.
Yeah, but now it's fabulous.
But yeah, it's all about the layers of paint. But yeah, and it's just gives this room and the hallway such character. But it's...
And it was pretty nice too, like even the dining room. I remember the first time we had people over and the bathroom was still there.
Yes.
It just didn't seem...
It didn't feel right, did it?
Didn't feel right.
No. So I think taking the toilet out was a big moment.
A big moment.
Yeah.
And then we sanded all the floors in every room.
Yes. Painted all the floors. But we've also had to do a lot for the fire marshal. So we've had, we've put hundreds of sheets of drywall into the place.
Yes.
Upstairs and downstairs. But today we're just talking...
In some places twice.
Yes. Today we're just covering the downstairs. We're going to do upstairs next week because there's so many spaces in the manor that we've transformed that we couldn't fit it all in one video. So next week we're going to cover upstairs and outside, but today, so we've just done downstairs. But
correct.
There's been a lot of hard work and time, but we love what we do, right? We love bringing it back. And the great thing is, talking about the pub, and I've said this, I know everyone's going to laugh, I've said this 1,000 times, we are getting really close to being opening.
Yes.
And I am not saying a date because I got caught out too many times on the date, but trust me, it will not be long now before we have a big, very exciting announcement. But the nice thing is that we've now got the whole downstairs spaces usable. So people like you can enjoy them in different events, the markets. Because, you know, you think back to some of our summer and Christmas markets. If you've been coming to our markets for the last 4 years, you've been through the house where there was, some of the rooms didn't have walls, there was no paint.
No ceiling.
No ceiling. We would drape the ceiling so that you couldn't see that there was no ceiling there. And now we have all the rooms downstairs done.
Pretty well finished.
Pretty much finished. We've still got some trims and stuff, so it's pretty exciting. So we decided that as this is the 200th episode, we wanted to do something special and to celebrate in some way. So we are going to do a very special contest today where we are going to give someone the opportunity to win an overnight stay here at the Manor and 2 tickets to our grand opening of the Thirsty Whippet pub. Now, we will be opening the pub really soon, we hope. But we will be doing a grand opening a little bit later, probably spring, summertime this year. And we're going to have a very special event for that. So we are going to give away 2 tickets to the opening.
Right.
And an overnight stay in one of our suites for someone.
And that's in addition to the ones we already gave away.
Yes, so we have already given some tickets away for the Thirsty Whippet over the years of us thinking we were about to open.
And they've been waiting.
And bless them, yes, so if you're one of those people that have been waiting, your tickets are safe, we have it ready, so we're going to give away another couple of tickets and an overnight stay now and that gives you the opportunity to enter and win. So very simple how you enter. The first thing you're going to do is make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, The Ladies with Manor Diaries. Now, if you watch us every week, you probably are already subscribed, but if you're not, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So the first thing is to be subscribed. The second thing is to enter is in the comments below, you are going to write a question that you would like to ask us about the renovation. Now, it can be anything. It could be maybe, what colour paint did you use on the music room wall? Or, we get asked this a lot, do you live at the Manor? Yeah. We get asked that a lot.
And yes, we live here.
And yes, we do. Yes. Or it could be, you know, where do you find your antiques? Or where do you get your wallpaper from? I get asked that a lot too. You can ask us anything you like. So in the comments below here on YouTube, you are going to write your question and subscribe, and you will then get entered into the draw, and we will randomly choose a winner next week, and we'll announce them on next week's second episode of our 200th episode. It will be 201, where we're going to do a tour of upstairs and the outside and go through all the transformations we've done there. But we will then draw one winner, and they will win those tickets and the overnight stay. So subscribe to the YouTube channel and write a question for us. And the fun thing is, we will take all those questions and we'll answer them all, right?
Correct. So
we'll pull them all together and we'll put together a video and answer all these crazy questions you come up with, as long as they're reasonable questions, right?
like the top 10.
No, we'll do all of them if they're good questions. Okay. So we'll then answer them, because I know people have questions and things that obviously we want to make sure they're answered as well, right? So make sure you head over and just write your question in below, subscribe, and like I say, we will be back here next week for our next episode of the Ladies with Manor Diaries, when we will reveal the winner. And we'll start answering some questions. And we'll give you a tour of the rest of the manor, the upstairs and the outside, and we'll share our most memorable transformations for that. So we'll see you next week.